back with the Unofficial Fan Lounge, our unofficial UFL podcast within the feed of this podcast Uncalled For. I'm Mike Chernevsky. I'll be your host for this and every edition of the Unofficial Fan Lounge. Week 8 is in the books. The playoffs are set. So let's go over this week's results. So we'll start with the Friday night game, Memphis at San Antonio. Showboats 24, Brahmas 22. This game went overtime. So second time it's gone overtime. Second time it's involved Memphis, and the second time Memphis has won. So Memphis improves to 2-6. San Antonio 1-7. This game had no playoff implications whatsoever, and the attendance was 9,244 in San Antonio. Go to the two Saturday games, which did have playoff implications. We start with Michigan at Houston. Panthers 30, Roughnecks 18. In front of 4,007 was the announced attendance, so they need to do a better job. Panthers improved to 6-2. Roughnecks fall to 3-5, and are now eliminated from playoff contention. The other Saturday game, Birmingham 28. St. Louis 29. This was played in front of 30,114 at the Dome. Stallions 5-3. Battlehawks 6-2. So, one more game to talk about, and that is Arlington at DC. Renegades 30. Defenders 33 in front of the Bear Snake, and 14,638. Arlington falls to 3-5. DC improves to 6-2, and the playoffs are set. Both conference championship games will be played on June 8th. And the teams are set, as well as the venues, regardless of how the rest of the season goes. So on the USFL side, it will be the Michigan Panthers and the Birmingham Stallions, and will be played at Protective Stadium in Birmingham. The reason for this is Ford Field in Detroit has been booked for a Kendrick Lamar concert. I did check the Ford Field website to learn about that. So there we go. Forced in Birmingham because of a concert. On the XFL side of things, it is going to be the St. Louis Battlehawks and the DC Defenders, and it will be played at the Dome at America Center, because Audi Field, which is primarily a soccer stadium, is being used that day for a women's soccer game. So, Michigan, Birmingham in Birmingham, DC, St. Louis in St. Louis, and then, of course, the championship game the following week will be in St. Louis. With that out of the way, let's now look at week 9. So the end is almost here. 2 more weeks of games, and we start with the Friday night game. It says St. Louis at San Antonio, but this game is being played at the Dome at America Center, because remember, the Brahmas play the Battlehawks both games this year in St. Louis. So this is game number 2 there. Battlehawks coming in at 6-2, and the Brahmas 1-7. and no playoff implications, but I still think the Bellhawks are going to be the better team and will walk away with the win. Early Saturday game will be Arlington at Memphis. Hopefully people show up to that game, even though there really isn't anything to play for. Arlington 3-5, Memphis 2-6, and neither of these teams are making the playoffs. We might as well say there's a toss-up at this point, but I will give a slight edge to Arlington. Then the late Saturday game is the preview of the USFL Championship, Michigan at Birmingham. So everyone show up, take your shirts off, and everything. Now, it is a home game for the Stallions, but I'll give a slight edge. Its record at this point, Michigan 6-2, Birmingham 5-3. So I will go with the Panthers, just barely. And then the Sunday game is DC at Houston. DC 6-2, and Houston 3-5. I will stick with the defenders for this one, even though it won't be in front of a beer snake. It'll be in front of a dwindling crowd. That's frankly, here's your solution to the Houston problem. Fire C.J. Johnson and bring in a new coach, one who hopefully knows what they're doing. All right. That's the huge difference I've seen between the XFL version of the Roughnecks and this UFL version. Keep in mind that when the leagues merged, it was the USFL team that got to stick around, but under the XFL branding. And the UFL version of this team has been a disappointment, especially in comparison with the XFL version of the Roughnecks. So yeah, time to find a new head coach. Hopefully that'll improve the quality of this team and get some butts in those seats down in Houston, because Houston is a good football city and deserves to have a quality football team. So that's my 2 cents on the Roughnecks situation, and that's going to do it for going into week 9 of the UFL season. Good luck to all the teams this weekend, and that's what we will talk to you next week for week 10.